Hello everybody, welcome to the show today, guys. We have some good news for you today. I love this, guys. Get ready, this is awesome. So the Democrats just voted to try and impeach Trump again, and it failed miserably. It was so bad. I'm telling you guys, Trump, Elon Musk, Scott Besson are exposing every Democrat in Congress right now, and they're so afraid that 128 Democrats voted against not impeaching Trump. Is this not insane, guys? He literally has them shaking in their boots, and what I love is because what I'm about to tell you next, because this has been covering it all. We finally know that the auto pin gate, the Biden scandal, the mental decline, all that, the doors have been blown wide open. Nir Tanden, one of Biden's former staff secretaries, just admitted under oath, because remember, they lie under oath, we figure it out, their butt's going to jail. Just admitted under oath that she was given full authority without Biden's consent to run the auto pin for 2 years at the end of his presidency, guys. Is this not exactly what we thought happened? Biden wasn't the president. Somebody else was running his auto pin, and now we have the admission under oath, baby. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because Trump is said, I knew it, I called it. Everything that we thought that was happening has actually happened, guys. Biden was not the president. The Democratic Party is not unified right now, and Trump is putting his people on blast. He literally told Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, you're not going anywhere until my bill is complete. So Mike Johnson issued a statement to every Congress member, said, make sure that your schedules are open, because if we do not get this bill done by July 4th, we will stay. No vacation. Guys, this is what we wanted. Promises made, promises kept, exposing the fraud. Everything, guys. Getting the big, beautiful bill done. No more dang vacation time for Congress. You get paid too much to get 18 weeks. Yes, you heard me right. 18 weeks of vacation is what Congress gets, getting paid almost $200,000 a year. And guys, I just love it, because the common sense keeps winning every single day. California is now suing the Trump administration because Trump won't give California money to repair its cities after the protest that it allowed to happen opposing the ICE and federal deportation efforts. You cannot make this stuff up, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Trump is fighting the deep state, which you're about to see next, so big right now. He is threatening to pull CNN's broadcasting license because they explicitly broadcasted propaganda with no credible sources, nobody, no info, no intelligence, all fake news, and Trump is fed up. He says, we are going to expose them and we are going to remove their license. They don't deserve it. This is the type of stuff that we want, guys. They did a polling over the U.S. strikes on Iran, and guess what? 85% of Republicans approved what Trump did, and among MAGA Republicans, 94% approved. Trump is pushing forward the United States in the right way with Doge, Elon Musk, Scott Besson, catching all these fraudulent, corrupt people, guys. We are just barely scratching the surface of the auto pin Biden scandal, which we now know that Nir Tanden was given full authority for 2 years, guys, 2 years to operate it without the consent of Biden. All this is coming undone, guys. We got a big show for you today. I want to say thank you to everybody who is watching, to all of our subscribers, all of our viewers. We are so excited that you're watching us. And if you're not subscribed, please consider joining our family here at TrueLife News. We want you here. Hit that subscribe button so that we can serve you every day with the top news. I want to say thank you to all of our members of the channel, guys. You are so amazing. Thank you for supporting us in our efforts to give and donate to charity every single month. And thank you to everybody that gives a super chat donation. Want to give some love to Elaine Demeen, OG of the channel, as well as Lay Lewis for gifting 5 TrueLife News memberships. Show Elaine some love in the chat. Guys, such a big day today. If you don't mind doing us a huge favor, hitting that thumbs up like button. We finally have it under oath that Nir Tanden was given explicit authority over the Biden auto pen for nearly 2 years, exacting pardons, executive memos, even Ukraine funding bills, rubber stamping whatever the staffers wanted. Now they're working. They say they want to, Comer said he wants to reverse all the unauthorized direct auto pen use of Nir Tanden. All this is under oath, guys. We got the receipts for you in a moment. This is big, big news, and this is what we wanted. But again, Trump is not playing around. He's furious over what's happened, and he is saying F-A-F-O even to people here in the United States because they tried to impeach him, but they lost again, guys. Listen to this.
Rare to see the president as upset, understandably, as he was early this morning. The man generally sleeps around 5 hours a night. And during those 5 hours, we somehow went from President Trump posting this right before he went to bed. This war could have gone on for years and destroyed the entire Middle East, but it didn't and never will. God bless Israel. God bless Iran. God bless the Middle East. God bless the United States of America. And God bless the world. He goes to bed. Again, that was 6:02 p.m. last night. But just after 6 a.m. this morning, much different story.
I'm not happy that Israel's going out now. There was one rocket that I guess was fired overboard. It was after the time limit, and it missed its target. And now Israel's going out. These guys got to calm down. Ridiculous. I didn't like plenty of things I saw yesterday. I didn't like the fact that Israel unloaded right after we made the deal. They didn't have to unload. And I didn't like the fact that the retaliation was very strong. But in all fairness, Israel unloaded a lot. And now I hear Israel just went out because they felt it was violated by one rocket that didn't land anywhere. That's not what we want, I'll tell you. And I'm telling you, I'm not happy about that, Israel, either. As soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
Oh, that's why so many people voted for that guy right there. And it's a long soundbite.
And guys, he's not just mad at Israel and all of them, guys. Look at this right here. This right here. Keep their butts in check, guys. I hope you appreciate this. He told Mike Johnson, y'all better get my bill done. Nobody's going on vacation. You better get this done. Look what Mike Johnson reportedly came out and told Republican lawmakers. Keep your schedule flexible and not to leave town. As GOP leaders try to pass the One Big Beautiful Bill Act by July 4th. This is making sure everybody's doing their dang jobs, guys. Trump is not playing. I mean, there's so much that's going on that I have to show you today. So much bombshell news. But what I love is that he's putting the pressure on the people that are going to make the bill to affect our lives, to put Americans first, to give our seniors this much needed tax relief that we've been voting for, that Trump said it's in the big, beautiful bill. $72 billion in tax relief for retirees. Trump says, I want this done now, guys. This is what we voted for.
I know, but you had to hear the whole thing. And that's about as upset as you're ever going to see Donald Trump. He is human. All presidents swear. You can look it up. After that, the president posted that Israel is not going to attack Iran. Nobody will be hurt. The ceasefire is in effect. And according to the Associated Press today, both sides accepted the deal after Iran launched a final onslaught that killed at least 4 people early Tuesday morning, while Israel launched a blitz of airstrikes targeting sites across the Islamic Republic before dawn. The Times of Israel says that it was the other way around. Donald Trump was upset. He was particularly upset with Israel. But either way, 2 things are true tonight. Donald Trump and his new administration, don't forget, this should still be the honeymoon phase. His new administration risked a lot on Saturday to help defend Israel. Yes, the world is a safer place today than it was on Saturday morning, but the Trump White House could have done exactly what Joe Biden and Barack Obama and George W. Bush and Bill Clinton all did before he got there, which is essentially nothing. Appeasement. sending billions of dollars to Iran in cargo planes.
Guys, again, we show you the facts of what is actually going on. Look at this. CBS poll. This is from CBS. U.S. airstrikes on Iran's nuclear facilities approve. 85% of Republicans, all Republicans approve. MAGA Republicans, 94%. Guys, if you are MAGA, let me know in the chat, guys. This is big. If you appreciate this truth, guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, this is what we voted for. We know we don't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon, but what I love is that everybody is getting to see a unified party behind our president.
If you're Barack Obama and John Kerry and Joe Biden, anything but get involved militarily, anything that might hurt your chances at winning re-election. But Donald Trump is different, and he is willing to risk world war and the lives of U.S. service members to help Israel and achieve peace. That cannot be understated. And the ceasefire doesn't last a night. It doesn't last a couple of hours. Are you kidding me? We support Israel, and we know that Israelis want this to end immediately. But what about Benjamin Netanyahu? Nobody wants to talk about that. The Israeli prime minister, who's the same Benjamin Netanyahu who pressured the White House to use those bunker-busting bombs in the first place. He flew to Washington. It's the same Benjamin Netanyahu who pushed U.S. involvement, and the same Benjamin Netanyahu who said this about invading Iraq just after 9/11.
If you take out Saddam's regime, I guarantee you that it will have enormous positive reverberations on the region. And I think that people sitting right next door in Iran, young people, and many others will say, the time of such regimes, of such despots, is gone. There is a new age, something new is happening.
And that is speculation on your part, or you have some evidence to that effect?
The way to deal with the terrorist regimes, among other things, was to apply military force against them.
Boy, oh boy, was that wrong. Benjamin Netanyahu pushed the U.S. to invade Iraq after 9/11. George W. Bush listened, and we did. And he pushed the U.S. to attack Iran after October the 7th. But it didn't work out so well for the U.S. the first time. But apparently there were people in Washington back in 2002 who thought that this right here was a compelling argument. Same person, same speech. Take a look.
The more victories you amass, the easier the next victory becomes. The first victory in Afghanistan makes the second victory in Iraq that much easier. The second victory in Iraq will make the third victory that much easier too, but it may change the nature of achieving that victory.
What does that mean? Over 4,000 U.S. service members have died in Iraq. And 20 years later, guess what? We've still got thousands of troops stationed.
This is what Trump is fed up with, guys. This is what the Democrats are trying to fight. This is what yesterday they tried to impeach Trump. The article of impeachment introduced by Al Green has just failed. 128 Democrats voted against their own party member, Al Green, because they know do not mess with Trump anymore. Guys, this is the biggest news ever that we're probably going to show you on this channel when it comes to the Biden autopin scandal. The autopin gate blows wide open. Tandon admits she ran the Biden's robo-signature from 2021 to 2023. She confessed under oath that she was authorized to direct Joe Biden's autopin for nearly 2 years. We're talking about pardons, executive memos, and even Ukraine funding bills. The Democrats have been trying to mess up Trump's entire agenda, his policies, his presidency, trying to impeach him already. Hasn't even been 5 months, but this is insane that it has been 5 months. In just 5 months, we are seeing now that all the stuff, all the money, they're trying to cover it up, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because we now have under oath this woman, Near Tandon, a former staff for Biden, just admitted she had full authority under the Biden administration to execute the autopin, which she did, spent billions of dollars. She was like the acting president. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because what you're about to see next, guys, it gets even deeper. Trump is fed up with everybody trying to come against him, and he is now ready to move forward and just clean out the deep state, which we're going to show you in a moment. Man Samsung, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. He said, no good news until the president signs a bill. It's coming, brother. Y'all show Man Samsung some love in the chat.
Help in, some would do it and not wear the American flag. Many Democrats even did this on the House floor after we passed yet another bill sending more money to Ukraine to fight a war that they're not winning. The point that we are trying to make is very simple. Americans support Israel almost unconditionally. According to a new poll this week, 76% of Republicans supported the U.S. attack on Iran. And it was the same thing with Ukraine 3 years ago. Americans supported the Ukrainian cause. But for how long? Most Americans are generous. The most generous people on the planet, in fact. But there are limits to that generosity. And we are saying this tonight because no one else is. We've got enough problems here in America.
Boom.
And we think that part of the reason that Americans elected Donald Trump in November is because Americans are ready for an America first president. Peace through Trump overseas, yes. But a president focused on solving the problems in America first.
Guys, you want to know what it looks like for America first? It's right here. The One Big Beautiful Bill delivers massive tax relief for retirees on Social Security. This is America first. This is what the Democrats are trying to prevent. They're trying to say, oh, they're cutting Medicaid. They're cutting Social Security. Are you kidding me? He's literally adding $72 billion a year in additional aid to boost Social Security, Medicaid. So when you hear about all these propaganda and all these lies, guys, this is the truth. This is what's actually in the bill delivered to us from the U.S. Department of Labor. Trump is putting America first. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Here's a question. Why are American taxpayers paying the salaries of Ukrainian first responders? Why are American taxpayers paying for Ukrainian pensions? We don't even have pensions in America anymore for the most part. Why are we subsidizing small businesses in Ukraine still? All of that made so much sense to Biden voters, but it never made any sense to us. When was the last time you walked around one of the streets here of one of the cities in our country? One of the cities that were absolutely once beautiful, a gorgeous American city. We went to San Francisco at this time last summer. And we went into areas the media don't want you to know about, areas that are just a few blocks away from hotels like the Ritz-Carlton. This is in Kamala Harris's hometown. And this is what we saw.
If you were doing drugs in public...
Guys, this is so sad. And I want to show you this because what you're about to see next, this is where it all comes down to. This is what we're fighting for right here, guys. It is really getting deep. They are trying to fast track the census. If you appreciate, guys, all this truth, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, but Trump is trying to fast track the census for what you're about to hear next because the amount of seats, 23 seats in the House will be given over to the GOP if we can fast track the census. Listen to this.
You know, the auto pen is one of the biggest scandals in U.S. history. What happened in the 2020 election is one of the biggest scandals in U.S. history. So the American people want justice for those types of initiatives. But the number one thing that trumps everything else is mass deportations because it all comes down to the 2030 census. I know all your viewers know all about this. They didn't even need the illegals to vote. They just needed warm bodies in their districts to steal congressional seats, electoral college votes, and federal funding. So
think about it. If you don't have voter ID, you have illegals that are counted as citizens in the census to give you more House seats to vote on federal bills that impact the entire United States of America. This is the big fight, guys, that Trump says we have to fast track the census.
That's the most important issue that we got to get back to. And frankly, you know, I'm one of the, I guess, first or few people to say, hey, MAGA, let's all get back together. All right. Everyone had a day. Some people could dunk on each other yesterday. Some people could, you know, eat a little crow. All right, that's behind us. Let's get on to the next stuff. We need this movement versus the machine.
This literally happened under Biden. This was executed by, guys, I bring the receipts, guys, by the auto pen, these open borders, all this stuff that happened. Remember that we had almost 11 million is what they say conservatively. But now we know for certain the near tandem, Biden's former staff secretary and domestic policy chief, domestic guys here in the United States, just confessed under oath that she was authorized to direct Joe Biden's auto pen for nearly 2 years, baby. Exactly when pardons, executive memos, and even Ukraine funding bills were rubber stamped. This is the corruption. This is what Trump said. Trump called it. This is one of the biggest things because he said the 2020 election was stolen. Biden wasn't president. She was for 2+ years. Near tandem. Guys, I'm telling you, there is a lot of stuff happening right now in the background. We're going to bring you everything, but it is just blowing my mind that we finally have a person admitted under oath. She had full authority in the Biden administration to execute the auto pen without Joe Biden's consent. And now we've got California suing Trump because he won't give them money to repair their cities after the ICE protest and the people and the illegals destroyed it. Listen to this, guys.
In the civil rights division, because this is the one Weissman, when she was announced on Ari Melber and on Nicole Wallace, he had the crocodile tears coming down because the civil rights division is kind of their baby, is it not?
Harmeet Dillon is doing a phenomenal job at the Trump 47 Justice Department. She's the Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights. Remember, this is where Biden's Kristen Clark ran the lawfare against parents outraged by gender chaos in schools and the resulting rapes in bathrooms, pro-life Christians praying at abortion clinics while giving amnesty to Hamas terrorists, Antifa terrorists, BLM terrorists, trans terrorists. Harmeet Dillon has decades of experience as a civil rights litigator. She's a minority woman, so they can't say that she's some racist white dude like they say we are. So she's doing a phenomenal job. She's putting points on the board very early. She's suing the states and local governments that are discriminating against Americans based upon race, based upon religion, DEI, anti-Semitism. I am Harmeet Dillon's biggest fan.
Listen, you're a strong believer in the 10th Amendment to federalism. I'd actually say I probably go more even to the states' rights, farther than even that a little bit. But what's happening in California, explain to our folks why what Gavin Newsom, particularly people believe in states' rights and people believe in the federalism and the 10th Amendment is the most important amendment of all. Why what Gavin and Newsom is doing in California is not that. It's when I say he's a neo-Confederate, I mean he's a neo-Confederate, sir.
Because as we've talked about for years on your show, Steve, the Constitution is a loan agreement between we the people and our government, state government, federal government, tribal government. And we lend specific, enumerated, and divided powers to the federal government, including the president having the commander-in-chief power, including Congress having the power to control immigration, and including the president's ability, his duty to enforce our laws. And immigration and protecting our border and protecting our country from invasion is squarely within the president's Article 2 commander-in-chief and executive powers. All other powers not specifically enumerated in the Constitution belongs to the states and to we the people as confirmed in the 10th Amendment. But think about it this way. We have foreign nationals flying foreign flags in one of America's largest cities, Los Angeles, and going to war against federal immigration officials. Of course, the president of the United States can call up the National Guard in California to put down this riot, this insurrection, real insurrection against America, not grandmas trespassing and taking selfies on the Senate floor, walking through velvet ropes and following police direction. This is a real insurrection in California as opposed to January 6th. And the president not only has the power, he has the duty to put this down. Are we supposed to just wait until they cause billions of dollars in damage and then wait for their federal handout so we can pay for their DEI disaster in Los Angeles? No thanks.
Brother, this thing that...
Guys,
and listen,
I'm telling you, like, this news just keeps dropping. I've got to show you this breaking news, guys. They are now 100% investigating into Nancy Pelosi for her and her husband's stock trading, guys. It is official. Look at this. Reported Representative Pelosi's husband net worth has ballooned to $413 million, guys. This is literally almost $500 million, where just 20 years ago, on the salaries that they make and the information that they had, nobody has been able to beat them in the stock trading. And now they're officially going under investigation, guys. If you appreciate this, guys, if you don't mind, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Show some love in the comments. This is 100% justice. And not only that, guys, Kash Patel posted literally himself that former FBI leadership withheld the facts and misled the public on the China's 2020 election interference, and they did so for political gain. Guys, all the truth is coming out. We bring the receipts. Guys, this is, look, from Kash Patel himself. They are launching investigations into Chris Wray now. All these people are going to be held in contempt, and I promise you, some of them are going to see the inside of a jail cell, guys. And I hope that we set the example, clean out the deep state. People are fed up with this. People want to see America get back to what it's supposed to be. We the people. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
listen, they only got a couple of votes in the House, and there's so many changes going on, folks. We are going to now do a lot of focus on the great big beautiful bill because the polling's terrible, because they have a message right. You got this, you got cuts, you got that. But MTG and a couple of folks are so outraged by this slipping in this artificial intelligence thing for the tech bros that their heads are blown up. And MTG, she's saying she's a hard no. With MTG and a couple other people, this thing ain't going to pass the House. Mike Davis, why are you so worked up? You're kind of the guardian of this, particularly against big tech. How outrageous is this, what they did, sir?
I would say this, cheers to Marjorie Taylor Greene, along with Marsha Blackburn and Josh Hawley and many others in the House and Senate. These trillion-dollar big tech monopolists, Google, Amazon, Facebook, and Apple, have been crushing competition, shuttering small businesses, and canceling conservatives and others with whom they disagree for decades. They had Section 230 immunity and antitrust amnesty by the government, which made this possible. We're finally holding them accountable on a bipartisan basis with the state AGs, with the Justice Department, with Gail Slater at the Justice Department, with Andrew Ferguson at the FTC, and now big tech's next play is to steal everyone's copyrights. They say to train their AI machines so they can compete against China, they claim. So they think that we should steal like China to compete against China. They think that we should have slave labor like China to compete against China. This is going to destroy the American creative industry. It's going to destroy American news media, particularly conservative news media like the War Room that relies on old-fashioned advertising to pay its bills, clicks and advertising. It doesn't have China and Soros and other left-wing sugar daddies underwriting the War Room. It's through the War Room posse clicking on ads and spending money on Birch Gold and other advertisers. And so what these AI platforms are trying to do is they're trying to slip into the big, beautiful bill a 10-year moratorium where states and local governments cannot touch AI. This is Section 230 on steroids. It means that when these AI chatbots are telling kids to kill themselves, and these parents want to get recourse, they can't get recourse through their states. It means that when Texas,
the Chinese Communist Party, this is now because they admit that all their work on AI was maybe for naught because of DeepSeek. That was the Sputnik moment. We're in an arms race, And somebody like MTG and Mike Davis and Steve Bannon, these Neanderthals in the War Room Posse who are decelerationist, not accelerationist, are going to make sure the United States is exposed at the highest level of national security against the existential threat. Excuse me, not the existential threat today. The existential threat today is actually this week on Fox, this is the mullahs. But the real existential threat, Chinese. How do you answer that, brother? Because you
guys, and I want to show you this too, because again, it is really popping off right now on X over this auto pen scandal. We now have the woman who was literally executing all the auto pen for at least 2 years, guys. Testifying before House Oversight Committee, former Biden aide Neera Tanden admitted she controlled the president's auto pen from October 2021 to May 2023, authorizing documents as Biden during a time when questions about his mental fitness were growing. On the list are pardons, executive orders, official actions. This right here, guys, is what the Comer said that he wants to reverse. If you appreciate this truth, guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. Thank you so much, Patrick Trebet, for the super chat. Let's go, superhero. I love it. Lay Lewis, thank you so much for the super chat. Said Biden gave them a raise, 100%. We now see, guys, that this auto pen scandal is now official. It officially was happening, that Biden was not executing the pardons that were happening, all the commutations, all the executive orders, all the money sent to Ukraine. It was this woman, Neera Tanden, who is one of Biden's senior officials, was actually, and there's more, guys. It's not just her. There's 3 more people that we're getting under oath that we haven't got the news yet, but we will be reporting on it. This is the scandal of the history of America, guys. We did not have a president. We had staffers controlling the United States. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Give every cracker in the country, every local city council, the ability to stop the nation's artificial intelligence, sir.
Yeah, so you have Google and Meta, for example, Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook, Meta, that did Chinese bidding. China's bidding was censorship for many, many, many years, and now they pretend like they're trying to compete against China. They're not. What this 10-year moratorium means is that states like Florida and Texas that have passed laws that make it harder to censor conservatives and others with whom they disagree.
Right
These
there,
AI
guys.
companies can just ignore those laws. They're told by this 10-year moratorium they don't have to follow.
If you didn't catch it, guys, this is why I'm showing you this. This is why it's so important that with the law that's in the big, beautiful bill right now that Rhinos put in, it would make it easier for the big companies to censor voices like me and other conservative voices from being able to show you and speak the truth of what's happening, and that's why they're fighting it. That's why Marjorie Taylor Greene says she's a big no if it's in the bill when it comes back to Congress. We don't want them to allow to take away our freedom of speech like they did before under the Biden administration.
These state laws. It's going to be open season on conservative users.
Right
It's going
there.
to be open season on conservative media. It's going to be open season on American creators. How many people go to Chinese movies? You don't, because they don't have creative talent in China like we do in America. This is going to destroy the entertainment industry and the news industry in America. And it's going to make Mark Zuckerberg and Meta and Google, Amazon, Facebook, and Apple very, very rich. They're already rich. It's going to put it on steroids with this AI amnesty. And look at this. Look what Google did. We had Project Maven and Project Dragonfly. Google that pretends like it's American as apple pie. Project Maven is where they shut down America's drone program because of woke activists in America. So Google stopped working with the American military in our drone program with Project Maven. At the same time that they stopped working with the American military, Google was running Project Dragonfly, which was the CCP's censorship program. So I don't want to hear from Google or any of these other big tech platforms that they're trying to compete against China. They're doing China's bidding.
You hear that, guys? And again, too, the fight is everywhere right now. Now, I don't know if y'all been keeping up with it, But the reason I'm showing you this is because it's still happening across America. This is a person who is a 100% socialist who just won the Democratic mayor primary. And this person has already been shown in videos who has said that he wants to institute city-run grocery stores where the city owns the grocery stores, the city controls the pricing, the city controls how much you pay, the city controls who can and can't buy from it. Guys, that's socialism if I've ever seen it. This is socialism, it's communism, and this is still happening across the United States. And this is trying to combat against what makes America great, which is freedom, capitalism. And what you're going to hear next is that we are still fighting over the accountability of where our hard-earned money come from, what happened to it during the Biden administration. This is happening as we speak, guys. We're bringing you the breaking news. Check this out.
The chairman of the full committee for his combined opening statement and such questions as he may have.
I don't know if I have that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Judge St. Eve, so you're requesting a 9% increase, is that accurate?
That's accurate.
How many, what's the federal district? Is it 677? How many federal district judges?
It is around.
And sorry, guys, if I didn't tell you before, but this is for the funding of the federal district judges. The same judges that have been rogue, going against Trump, fighting him over 200 lawsuits. This is what we're talking about, the money now. Because remember, the judicial branch, House Oversight Committee, all of them has the power of the purse, and they can defund them. And you're about to hear Jim Jordan go off because these people need to be defunded. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Around that number, what's the average? What's the staff size for what's a budget for your typical federal district judge, and what's the staff size that they would have working for them and for the court?
So for a typical district court judge, they have 3 staff members. Judges can make a determination if they want 3 law clerks or 2 law clerks and a judicial assistant. In addition, the district court judges have a court reporter and a courtroom deputy, although those positions...
What's the total number then of all those?
That's 5, but in some districts, the courtroom deputy and the court reporter are shared. So one district court judge does not have his or her own courtroom deputy or court reporter. That varies by district.
And each judge has, you said, 2 or 3 clerks?
Correct.
Okay. Of the 9% increase, how much of that's going for security?
The 9% increase, our security account is asking for $892 million.
And what percentage of that is that of the overall 9%?
A little under 10% of our budget, the full budget. So $894 million of the $9.4 billion is for our judicial security account.
Understand, but you're asking for an additional you're asking for a 9% increase. Of that increase, what percentage of that 9% are you devoting to security and going forward?
I think our increase for the judicial security account is a 19% increase over what it is now. That's comparing it from fiscal year 25 to what we're requesting.
Or maybe I'm okay. You're overall, what's the overall dollar amount you're asking for compared to where you're at now and what you're going to have for the next year?
Right here, guys.
In just judicial security or overall?
Overall.
So the overall amount that we are asking for is $9.4 billion for fiscal year 20.
And that's an $800 million increase over last year?
That is about a 9% increase over last year.
And what's that dollar amount?
The dollar amount.
The dollar amount, I have to.
My understanding is you're asking for $800 million increase. Is that accurate? $800 million.
I think that is accurate.
Okay, and of that $800 million, how many of what's the dollar amount going for security?
The total dollar amount going to security is $892 million, and that is about an increase of $142 million over 25.
Okay, so
out of the, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, say it again, go ahead.
Out of our overall increase, $142 million is in the court security account.
Okay, so that means 658 million is for other things.
Raises.
Yes.
And where's all that going?
Right here.
Defender services, we're asking for 1.8 billion.
Guys, I hope you appreciate this. If you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, this is how Congress spends money. This is how we ask questions of spending billions of dollars of your hard-earned tax dollars. This is a joke. That this is the process and how we spend billions of dollars for rogue district court judges. Not all of them are rogue, but a lot of them are. And we're talking about $1 million, guys. We're talking about billions of dollars. They're wanting an almost $1 billion increase year over year. They don't deserve it. When we look at what happens and how they don't even uphold the law and how they pick and choose who to prosecute, this is a joke, but I'm showing you this because, again, too, Jim Jordan goes off in a moment of just exposing you want to increase by almost $1 billion so you can give what? More money? Raises? For these people that are already making multi-six figures? Are you kidding me?
S&E, or salaries and expenses account, we're asking for 6.9 billion, and that salaries and expenses goes to cover people and buildings primarily, and IT.
But now you're giving me the total number. I'm of the 800 million increase, you said 142 million is going for security. That leaves 658 million new dollars. Where's that money going, the new dollars?
So the additional increase is 800 million over from the prior year. I don't have this broken down into percentages.
Well, just give me the dollar amount.
So the dollar amount for Defender services, the additional amount we're asking for is...
Look at the paper. Look how she's shaking. Because again, too, whether she is the person who's actually in charge of spending the money, she has no idea, guys, what this money is going to. There is no itemization. There is no, it's going to do this, you're going to do that. It's all just blanketed over one name. Guys, this is what's wrong with America right now. This is why Doge has caught so much fraud, waste, and abuse. Because we ask for billions of dollars and we have people that have no clue on where it's actually going to. It just goes into a slush fund.
315,000 roughly. We're asking for a little less in fees and jurors. We're asking for the 141,000 in court security. 100 million in court security.
Okay. Well, I mean, again, I think members are comfortable. I've said this all along. We're comfortable with making sure there's security. We're not so comfortable giving increases in everything else. I think that's where members are. Certainly the folks I represent back home, I think that's where they see it. That's our concern, particularly with some of the decisions we've seen. So with that, I would be happy to yield my remaining 12 seconds to the chairman.
I'll take all 12 seconds to place in the record. And it's a video, so I'll just extrapolate the statement. On the 1st of April, 2025, the speaker's comments that were earlier referred to verbatim are, "We are not defunding the courts. We're not doing anything other than limiting in this legislation the ability of a judge to issue a nationwide injunction."
Right there,
I want to make it clear, the Speaker of the House very, very clearly had no intention of saying that there was going to be any limiting of judges on an individual basis, but rather the nationwide injunctions, which was a bill that was passed out of the House. And with that, I go to the gentleman.
Right there, guys. When we show you that even Speaker Mike Johnson, like what we're fighting for is bringing accountability, no more nationwide injunctions. They want money. They want an almost $1 billion increase in their budget year over year. But yet they still want to continue to allow nationwide injunctions. Not happening. You're not going to get any more money. They're looking, and it's in the big, beautiful bill. This is why Trump wants it to pass, guys, is that no federal district judge can issue a nationwide injunction. That's in the big, beautiful bill. So that means that any moment, as soon as that bill passes, Trump can move faster, get things done faster without having to deal with a TRO, a temporary restraining order by a rogue federal district judge. That's why he wants it to get passed. Lily Ignacio, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Said, we dodge a bullet. I wonder who has been the football nuclear code while Biden was at the beach. We were not safe. 100%. B1 Sly One, thank you so much for the super chat. Said, foreign funds, Soros, should be frozen if ever used in any U.S. election. Reminder to chat, LA Mayor Karen Bass is also a known socialist too. 100%. Y'all show B1 Sly One and Lily some love in the chat, guys. Let me tell you this. If what you're about to see next, there is you cannot make this up. The amount of lies that comes from this news outlet, and they have our boy, Scott Jennings, who fights them off, because I'm going to show you some deep stuff next, that no matter what, they want to act like nothing happened under the Biden administration. Check this out.
Disturbing thing on basic information. On some political issue, I totally understand. I can even understand, perhaps, plausible deniability about Signalgate. But I think on national security issues, like issues where soldiers are possibly lost, it is pretty inexcusable that he has not been briefed and he can't speak to it.
And what's worse, a president not having all the information he needs to make a legitimate comment, so he holds back in the moment before being ready to make a comment, or I don't know, willfully lying to the American people about the condition of the President of the United States, which went on for 4 years in this country by all of your colleagues.
Totally wrong. That is totally wrong. That is totally wrong.
I hope you read all the books that are coming out. I hope you read all the books that are coming out.
Joe Biden, when asked about soldiers lost, was briefed and said it. And so you think Joe Biden had problems? At least he was able to do that. What's the excuse for Donald Trump if he's so capable?
I'm just saying.
I mean,
you guys
I don't
are
know if you're a judge.
That Trump is exhibiting some, I want to get more facts, and I'm going to be lectured by the people who lied to the American people about the condition of the president.
Oh my God.
No way.
No, but
not going to take it.
That's first of all, that's outrageous.
Is
That's
it?
outrageous. Yes, it is.
You
I
think
did
the
not
truth
lie.
was told? You think the truth was told?
I will say.
Did the White House tell the truth?
I will look forward to this discussion.
Do you all believe the truth was told about Biden?
Scott, do you want government or do you want your lick back? Because even if all of that happened in the past, we're in the present now. So we need a president that is capable.
And so what? He said, I don't know. What did it hurt your life that he said, I don't know? One time?
Biden did it. Biden did it.
Sure, I
Biden did
can.
it. You can't
Of course I can.
that for 4 years.
I absolutely can.
The country to move
I
forward.
100% can.
And 100% he's right, guys, because we now officially know this is under oath. So there is no going back. There is no denying it. There is no Democrats have no leg to stand on. Testifying before the House Oversight, former Biden aide Neera Tanden admitted she controlled the president's auto pen from October 21st, 2021 to May 2023, authorizing documents as Biden during a time when questions about his mental fitness was growing. Pardons, executive orders, official actions, all signed by her. No Biden consent. She had the authority. Everything that CNN, MSNBC, all these people have lied about for so long. Now we finally have the truth. It's been said under oath. And now the House Oversight Committee, who is led by James Comer, is working to reverse all the spending and everything that happened under the Biden administration, guys. This is what we voted for. We finally seen some dang action when it comes to this Congress, people. Thank you so much, Denise Clark Custom Art, for the super chat. Let's go. OG of the channel said they should offer to have any itemized statements if every penny they want and show to the penny where the money Bass went in the past. Nothing vague. Guys, show Denise Clark some love in the chat. This is what we're talking about. This is what Doge is all about. Exposing the corruption that we know has been happening, and we finally have under oath that they were actually doing it. The only pardon that was signed by President Biden himself was for his son. Shifty Schiff, Fauci, all of them were signed by her, guys. This is some big, big stuff. But what I love too is what I'm about to show you next, because there's some deep, deep stuff of protection for America that you need to hear about. Listen to this.
Senator Peterson. Senator Graham.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Attorney General, I think you're doing a fantastic job. I want to say that to you and to your team.
Thank you.
And kind of lay out sort of where I think we're going here. The threat level to this country is pretty high. Do you agree?
Yes, Senator.
Every time I turn around, there seems to be a new threat coming our way, and we're just going to have to meet the moment, and I think we will. So one thing I want you to reconsider is I think there was some termination of protective details for people that were targeted for assassination by the Iranians because of the role they played in the first term. Pompeo, Secretary Pompeo, and others. I'd urge you to reconsider that, sit down with the intel folks, because I think the threat level is pretty high, and that's just something for you to take back. I think Iran does want to hurt our country. Now, back to lawlessness that was mentioned. Can you very briefly give me the scope of the problem you've had to deal with just on illegal immigration? Yeah, I think, yeah.
The drugs.
Enormous.
The drugs, the guns, the terrorists coming into our country. I just say this because it's relevant to where we're sitting. 20 minutes away, we arrested one of the highest level members of one of the biggest gangs in the country living in Virginia. And that was through a task force that we set up with Governor Youngkin, with state, local, and federal law enforcement agencies working together.
Would you say it's been a big mountain and you're climbing it?
It's been a monument. It's been Mount Everest.
Okay.
It is monumental. It is
So
monumental.
Let us help you climb Mount Everest. Mr. Hallman said that if we don't get more money into the system, we're going to hit a wall in terms of the president's promise to deport people that shouldn't be here and represent a danger. Do you agree with that? That ICE needs more funding?
Always, yes.
Okay. So reconciliation is on the way, but I just want everybody to understand. You support the president's border security budget.
I do. And Senator, the big beautiful bill gives $500 million to us, to Department of Justice, to combat drug trafficking.
Well, we're going to start the big beautiful bill and we ain't leaving town.
$600 million for prosecute immigration matters, which are really all the issues that Senator Peters had discussed with me, and $950 million to reimburse non-sanctuary states and locals for cost that they've incurred, and $1.25 billion for other immigration issues. And I would urge everyone to support the Senate's version, which is much greater for Department of Justice than the House's version of one big beautiful bill. And I think that goes back to what Senator Van Hollen was discussing too, increasing our public safety, as well as you, Senator Moran. So thank you all for that. Thank you.
And I want to show you this too, guys, because again, there's breaking news that came out just this morning about what they're talking about. Check this out. New Trump administration plan could end asylum claims and speed deportations for hundreds of thousands of migrants. Guys, I'm telling you, everything that you're seeing, everything that we're showing you, we're bringing the full context. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support, guys. This right here matters because, again, getting the money, it's not just once you end their asylum, once you are able to deport them, you got to have the money and the personnel to be able to send them out of the United States. But Trump just came out with a new plan this morning to speed up, to get out. Remember, estimates on the low end, 11, 12 million. Estimates on the high end, 20 million over the past 4 years. And we're talking about that. There's an additional, what they said, 30 million that have come in from prior administrations. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Random Card, thank you so much for the super chat. Said, thank you, Joel. I enjoy your show. Thank you so much, brother. And John Prachi, thank you so much for the super chat. I love it. Hey, I love the award, man. Let's go. Y'all show John and Random Car some love in the chat.
Senator Graham.
As the Senate Budget Chairman, I think I will support our version of it. And I think it's needed. You know, I'm not be joking about it. I think it's very much needed. The budget you propose will be reworked. Do you understand that we have a say in this, right?
Yes.
Okay. If we give you more money, do you think you could use it wisely?
We will always be a good
Because you're
steward
gonna
of
get
your
more
money.
money.
We will put law enforcement officers on the street,
This whole
not sitting
DA
behind
thing,
desks.
I don't know who's thinking about that, but that just makes like zero sense to me. We'd want to be cutting the DA now and putting ATF over the DA. So, we'll agree to disagree, and I just think you're doing a great job, but that's the way our system works. We may have a different view of things, and we'll work together. I trust your judgment very, very much so. Is Mexico helping us with the drug problem?
Senator, that might be a conversation to better have in a classified setting.
Okay, well, here's what I want to say publicly. No, you're not. You need to, half your country is run by the cartels. We're never going to be safe here until we get Mexico to change their game. I'll be glad to talk to you in a private session, but enough with Mexico. You need to up your game.
The Sinaloa cartels have wreaked havoc on our country, and they continue to wreak havoc on our country.
Enough of that crap.
And the fentanyl coming in.
Yeah, we're coming after them with Mexico's help or without their help, because I don't know what the right response is to a neighbor that allows this kind of lawlessness to come into our country and kill more young people than any other method. More people dying from fentanyl poisoning coming from Mexico than anything else. And, that just needs to stop very quickly. Back to Iran. They have sleeper cells, we think, here?
We have thus far arrested 1,500 illegal Iranians in our country. That is something that I would like to talk about in a classified setting.
So
but yes, have they invaded our country? Absolutely.
You said Iran's a threat to America. When people chant death to America, that's kind of a tip-off they're a threat to our country, right?
And to our Jewish population, yes.
Well, to all of us. And when they swore in the recent president in July of last year, during the swearing in of the president of Iran, they were chanting death to America. So that kind of tells me where they're coming from. I guess the point I'm trying to make is Iran is threatening us in many, many ways. I do not want to live my life or our country's life giving in to bullies and religious Nazis. We're coming after your regime to change it. Nobody wants regime change for the sake of regime change. I want the regime to change its behavior. I want them to stop the policy of killing all the Jews in Israel, reject that policy. I want them to be better neighbors for the world at large. I want them to change their behavior. And if you don't want them to change their behavior, that's weird, because they kill their own people. They're hanging people in squares today. They're very oppressive. They're very brutal. They've been trying to build a nuclear weapon, and they want to use it against the people of Israel and us. So my last point is, when it comes to Iran, can you say to the Iranian regime, you will not intimidate us to do what's best to help Israel and our own national security? We're not going to be intimidated.
I think Donald Trump has said that loud and clear. We will not be intimidated, and we will keep America safe thanks to the leadership of President Trump, not only from Iran, but from Russia, from China, and from Mexico, from any foreign adversary, whether they're trying to kill us physically or by overdosing our children with drugs. We're going to do everything in our power, thanks to his leadership, to keep America safe.
Guys, let me know your thoughts, because again, people have said that Pam Bondi is one of Trump's weakest cabinet members. She hasn't released the Epstein files, hasn't released fully the JFK files. All these things that they said were going to re-release day one hasn't happened. I want to know your thoughts in the comments. Wanted to show you again too, guys. This is just, if this lets you know anything, that 128 Democrats joined the GOP in voting against Al Green's impeachment vote against Donald Trump, guys. Tiffany Yen, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Y'all show Tiffany some love in the chat. So not only are the Democrats not united, not only are they not wanting to impeach Trump, things are changing, guys. Because in every other impeachment against Trump, it was completely unified. Democrats voted, every one of them voted to impeach Trump. Now, the 2/3 of the Democrats said, no, we're not going to impeach Trump. That's big, guys. That is huge. Not only that, Trump is keeping Mike Johnson in check and has told Mike Johnson, you're not leaving till my big, beautiful bill is done. So Mike Johnson has told Republican lawmakers, keep your schedule flexible and not to leave town. GOP leaders are trying to pass a big, beautiful bill act by July 4th. This is huge, guys. We're finally putting the pressure on the people that need to have pressure on to get things done. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. Calvin Vick, welcome to the family, brother. Y'all show Calvin some love in the chat. Want to say, guys, thank you so much to everybody who's watching. If you're not subscribed, please consider joining our family here at TrueLife News. We want you here. We want to serve you every day with the top news. So go ahead, click that that subscribe button. We are moving forward, guys. Our channel is growing. We're bringing the receipts. We're showing you the breaking news as it's happening, and we are here to serve you. Want to say thank you to all of our members of the channel, guys. Thank you so much. Remember, when you're a member or you give a super chat donation, we give on the 22nd of every single month, we give the super chat donations and all this to a local charity. This past month, we gave to a local homeless veterans shelter. This next month, we're going to be giving to a local children's home, guys. And this is changing lives. We're helping out those that can't help themselves. And you see this guy on the 22nd of every single month, we are donating a lot of money. And thus far, over the past 9 months, thank you so much for your help. We've donated almost $40,000 live on stream with your help, guys. And I want to give some love today, guys, because to me, this is a huge part of my heart and what matters in growing this channel. Want to give some love to Lay Lewis for gifting 5 TrueLife News memberships. If you got a free membership from Lay, show her some love in the chat. Thank you so much, John Propchi Jr., Denise Clark, Custom Art. Thank you so much, Man Samsung, Patrick Trebet, Lily Ignacio, B1 Sly One, Random Car, Tiffany Yin. Guys, show them some love in the chat. Thank you so much for liking our videos, sharing our videos, guys. We are here to serve you, and we promise we're going to bust our butt to give you the best show every single day. We love you, appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.